Hello, yeah, it's Smoke once again. Since you people asked for the part 2 of that video we sent on YouTube, yeah, explaining some things that go on here in Russia for the students and for the things that go on here. And the first video that we made was really came out of the blue. We didn't plan it, so even the way we were presenting the things, they were not in any systematic manner or something like that. So yeah, one point after the other, whatever you remember you say it. But in this one I'll try and see how best I can present things to you. Then the main reason we did that video wasn't to scare anyone from applying to come here to Russia or to discourage or anything like that, but I believe someone is better equipped if they know, if they expect something. So if you're expecting something, then you decide yourself to say, yeah, I know everything that comes with this thing, but I want to go there. Your mind will be ready for that. Your mind will be more equipped to that. So we thought, instead of people being caught unaware like we were, why can't we just tell these guys the truth of what goes on, what happens, and some of the things you might not like, but you can't die even if you went through them. So that's how we thought, no, let's just give them this. But when I was passing through the comments, I realized that there is particularly one man who made it seem as though we said anything that was wrong or something that wasn't right. And he talked about him paying more medical policy fee more than us here in St. Petersburg, which up to now I haven't confirmed if it's true or not, but the highest amount I've heard of a medical policy here in Russia is the one that we here at Polytech pay, because it's not even everyone in St. Petersburg who pay 10,000 rubles. It's only us in this school. That's Polytech in St. Petersburg. We pay 10,000. And when I ask around my friends that are in other universities, they pay way less than that. They pay something like 2,000 for medical policy or something like that. But even after paying that 10,000, a friend of mine who is also here in this same university, a girl fell sick, and when she went to the hospital, she didn't even have a serious problem like that. It was just some gases in the stomach and things like that. Some little what. And the 10,000 couldn't be used. The 10,000 policy that she bought couldn't be used. They said it doesn't cover that. So now, if someone can pay 17,500 for a medical policy, we're talking about someone who gets $1,000 after 4 months. Let me break it down for you. $1,000 is, as of today, that's just around 66,000 rubles, and you're expected to use that money for 4 months. Then the medical policy alone is taking away close to 20,000, meaning you're remaining with 40,000. Let's put it at 40 for now. Then you haven't paid your rent. Again, rent depends on where you are. For us, rent is relatively cheaper. Others pay more than we do. Others even pay less, depending on which part of Russia you are chilling in. Then there is the part of food. Then you're here for school, so there are things that you need to buy for school, specifically for school. You need books, you need what. And things just come up. What if your computer stops working? All of a sudden, it just goes black. Or things like that. So you do need money aside for when you fall sick, despite you having a medical policy. So paying a 17,500 for a medical policy is just a waste of money and other things. I wouldn't. I know it's not allowed to stay without a medical policy. But if it means cutting out 30% of the money that I get every after 4 months, and it's the only money I have, and the school is demanding, they want to take away all the time that you have and all the resources that you have. They just want you and the school and nothing else. You can't do any other works. So in the previous video we talked about all those, but the man brought about the 17,500, which is what I wanted to address before I move on with my own things. So yeah, school is challenging everywhere, but it's just extra challenging here in Russia. One, because of the language. The language is supposed to be learned in 1 year. We talked about that. But you won't learn it in 1 year. Part of the reason is that the Zambian government won't bring you here on time. If you're supposed to come here on time, you're supposed to come here before the 1st of September, which is the opening day for all the schools in Russia. But that won't happen. If you come, let's say instead of studying school on the 1st of September, you studied in November, you come in November. Then you spend 2 weeks running around trying to register things, getting your visas ready. It means you'll be almost 2 months late, and teaching here is quite serious. When they have started, they have started. So you'll have missed out information for 2 weeks, and you came here without even knowing how to greet in Russian. And then you miss out the 2 months, meaning you miss out the foundation for the same language that you want to learn. So when you go to class, it won't be as easy as just adapting. Then you start getting things the way your friends are getting it. It won't be that easy because you missed out the foundation. Now you're not learning the foundation, but you're trying to catch up with the rest of the class without the foundation. So the confusion and the lack of the basis for the language will create stress. And when you're stressed, you won't learn. That's how things are done. It's logical. You don't need to explain that. Unless you come here, you build your foundation, then you try to go and join your class, then it will be okay. But if you're trying to catch up on things that you have never heard of in your life, that's a different thing altogether. Then yeah, so now, having said that, let me talk about, Mr. Russia 2020 told you we're going to tell you about job opportunities that are here in Russia. And yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about today. So the jobs, they're there. Jobs are there. But if you want to work, there are common jobs, of course. I'll start with the common ones. You speak English well, you can teach it to someone else. You always find someone who wants to learn English, so you can teach them English at a fee. So there are some people who find clients that are ready to be taught English at a fee, and that fee is usually, it ranges from 600 rubles per hour. 600 rubles per hour, that's in the Kwacha language, that would be 630. But yeah, don't 120. Katushin and 120. What the then, guys? Change this one. Because 1 ruble is about 0.3 kwacha. So 600. That's about 180 kwacha per hour. Then others will be willing to give you 1,000 per hour. That's 1,000 per hour. That's almost 200 kwacha. That's almost 200 kwacha or thereabout. So that's the English teaching job. If you are lucky enough to find an institution where they teach English, then you are hired as a substitute teacher or as a main teacher, and they'll be paying you, instead of paying you per hour, they'll be paying you every month. And that also ranges according to how much you worked in that same month. It ranges from something like 30,000 rubles to, and 30,000 rubles isn't a bad thing for just English teaching, because that is the money most degree holders back home get, or even less. Because if I talk of 13,000, that's about 13,000 rubles, that's about 4,000 kwacha, or 3.8 something. So if you have 2 13s, you have 8, yeah, you can estimate it's around 10,000 kwacha as of today, since dollar is misbehaving. So in terms of jobs, if you find the teaching job at a well-established institution that they hire you, you'll be getting something sensible. Or you can find a job as a handyman in factories and other places. So if you find a job as a handyman in factories, you'll be getting, it also ranges from 45,000 to maybe 61,000, depending on where you're working. Other things, other jobs are just basic jobs like carrier. You work for maybe for this company that just takes things from one place to another. So you're in the car, offloading and loading, such kind of jobs. The salaries also range from 1,500 per day, which is not bad. Because in Zambia, someone might ask you to dig a pit and you walk away with a 30 kwacha. But yeah, here they would give you such things. And other small jobs, you can work in McDonald's, you can work at your school. So in terms of jobs, such things, everything is small. In terms of just playing, you just want to have fun, there are so many places to go. You can go to the beach, you can go to Maza Park. Here in St. Petersburg, they have a really nice place where you can go and play. It's Maza Park. You just pay for the entry in the night and you go out in the morning. Once you pay when entering, you can do almost anything inside, anything you want. So such places, and it's not the only place where you can do that. There are other places if you like playing football, if you like playing bowling, if you like anything you like. If you like skating, ice skating, roller skating, and other things that you enjoy, you might do all those things. You might go and watch a hockey game, or you might just play soccer yourself. So those are some of the things that you would just do if you're really outgoing like that, because there are people who just come here and then they just feel safe being inside, which is not very good when it comes to language learning, because if you're learning the language, you need to go out there, socialize with people, do things that really require you to speak, to practice your language. Like when you're playing football, you'll be forced to say something. Yeah, you'll be forced to say something. Such things, the games that are involving, they are quite good for language development. And the other things, people asked about how friendly the Russians are. Oh, it depends. Even in Zambia, I feel even in Zambia we have people who don't really relate so well with people of a different race. Of course, we have people who meet somebody who is light skinned and then they'll go crazy. They'll just be like, "Eh, taona wazungu, bonji," such things. So we also have these light skinned dudes who will just look at you, then they're amazed. They feel like they need to talk to you. They feel like taking a picture with you. They feel like just touching you to prove if you're really there or you can wash off this melanin. And then we have people who are just normal. Then we have got like extremists, like they don't even want to be there with you. They don't even want to talk to you. Or some people will just look at you and then, yeah. So there's just, it's a normal society. A normal society has all kinds of people. They're kind people, they're rude people, they're just people who mind their own business. But yeah, it's just a place like any other place. That's all I can say. And then what else? How safe Russia has been for me? It's really safe. It's really safe. Yeah. Oh, I think so. It's really safe for me. You have to be found in the right place at the right time. I wouldn't say that there are no incidences. There's been incidences where someone has been shot or someone has been what? Someone has been what. But such incidences, if you look at them carefully, you just find that maybe it was just because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah. Although that's my opinion. I don't know what others would think if they heard that this and this happens to someone. Because sometimes I feel people are quick to judge if something happens, especially to a dark-skinned person here in Europe, then they'll start reasoning that no, perhaps it was because he was black, that's why such things happen, what. But how about the same thing that happened to another light-skinned person? Whoa, what reasoning would be applied then? Because such things don't only happen to black people, but I think it happens to everyone. It's just that we don't get to hear of the things. So yeah, safety starts with yourself. That's what I would say. And for me, I think it's pretty safe. It's pretty safe. And I'm sure some people would tell you, no, exams are what you're supposed to write them, you're what. When we were writing grade 12 exams in Zambia, we wrote everything and we left the papers. They got the papers, took them to ECZ marked, the marks were out. Here when you're writing an exam, unless that exam is really not important, it's got nothing to do with your course. So they can just consider maybe if you're doing the online one and the one in school, and you had assignments online, you do the ones online and everything. As long as you do everything online, then the exam they might give you what they call an aftermath. An aftermath 4, that means you have a 4 automatically. Otherwise, if you want the highest mark possible, you need to go, you get another question. They give you 5, or depending on how many people are there. You receive questions, you sit down for a few minutes, you write what you can remember from your head, then you present that paper to the instructor. When you present the paper to the instructor, sometimes they'll ask you questions based on what you're writing, or if everything is correct, they'll just move it aside and ask you something else unrelated to what you wrote. And that is the truth. Anywhere in Russia, unless you're in Kazakhstan or Kazakhstan or any stan around Russia. But around here, that's how things are done. Yeah, that's what I thought I should share with you today. And if you have more questions, yeah, you can still ask